Hi all. In previous lecture we have seen one activity in which magnesium ribbon is burnt in presence of oxygen, and we have seen that there was a change in state, and that was the one of the observation which tells that there is a chemical reaction occurring when magnesium is burnt. So let's do another activity 1.2. In this activity, a solution of lead nitrate, and what is the formula of lead nitrate? It is PbNO3 whole twice. Lead nitrate is mixed with solution of lead iodide, potassium iodide, and formula is Ki. So in the beaker we have taken lead nitrate solution and it is colorless, and in another beaker I have taken potassium iodide, again it is a colorless. So when I mix both the solutions with each other, you will see that suddenly a yellow color substance will form, yellow color compound will form, and this is because of a precipitate lead iodide, PbI2, and this act like a yellow precipitate. So what is precipitate? That it will come later also, but now you can understand that precipitate is any insoluble substance formed as one of the product, that is known as precipitate, which do not dissolve. And what other will form? Lead iodide and potassium nitrate, and balancing, like lead, number of atoms on reactant side of the lead is 1, over here is also 1. So iodine is 2, so I'll place 2 in front of potassium iodide. Now potassium become 2, so I'll place 2 over here. Now nitrate, complete nitrate, because nitrate is not being changed, you can assume it a whole as, okay? So nitrate is 2, so nitrate is already 2. Now this reaction is balanced, okay? Then this will form in aqueous form. So in this activity you have seen that there would be a change in color. So what are the observations? One is change in color, okay, from colorless to yellow. And another observation you can say that change in the state change, okay, from aqueous, from liquid form to, and this precipitate is in solid state, so state change from liquid to solid, you can say. So from these two observations we come to know that a chemical reaction is taking place between these two compounds, and later on we'll do that this reaction is a double displacement reaction. Kind of reaction is double displacement because both have exchanged the ions, both substances have exchanged their ions, okay? So that will do later also, but for the completion of the notes you can also write this is an example of double displacement reaction, okay? So this was the activity 1.2. Now next is activity 1.3. So in this activity what you will do, you will take few granules of a metal like zinc and put these granules into the hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. So reaction of zinc granules with hydrochloric acid, and what is the formula of hydrochloric acid? It is HCl. So what is the chemical reaction? So zinc react with hydrochloric acid, what it will form, let's see. Zinc, because it is a metal, so it is written alone, and hydrochloric acid is HCl. So what it will form, zinc chloride, and hydrogen will form as it is in the form of gas. You will observe the bubbles of hydrogen gas when zinc is put into a hydrochloric acid. So zinc chloride is formed, and formula is ZnCl2 because Zn plus 2 ion and chloride is Cl minus, and hydrogen. Now hydrogen exists as a H2 diatomic molecule in the nature. Okay, so we'll write H2 gas. Because it is in the form of gas, we can use upside arrow. So now balancing, zinc is 1 on both sides, number of atoms of zinc is 1, and chlorine is 1 over here. Here on rectangle side is 1 and product side is 2. So I will place 2 over here. Now hydrogen become 2. Now hydrogens are already 2. Now the reaction is balanced. Okay, so what are the observations in this reaction? One is there would be a change in temperature. Now if you do this reaction and touch the beaker, you will see that there would be an increase in temperature. So that's why this reaction is a exothermic reaction. So there would be increase in temperature. So I am writing this as a exothermic, but still we'll do it later. What are exothermic reaction and what are endothermic definition will do. Few examples also will do. Okay, for the time you can understand like exothermic reactions are the reactions in which energy is released out by the chemical reaction in the form of heat, because exo means exit, move out, and thermic means temperature. Thermic word is used for temperature mainly, because thermometer, you must have heard the word thermometer. Thermometer, meter means device which measure something. Okay, and thermometer which measure the temperature. Okay, so thermometer is a device which measure the temperature. So that's why thermic is related to the temperature, and exo means exit. Okay, released out. So exothermic reaction it is, in which there would be a loss of heat by the chemical reaction. So one observation, you will see that increase in temperature. And second observation is you will observe few bubbles of hydrogen gas. Now gas, by observing you will not come to know that this gas is hydrogen gas. You will observe only bubbles forming. So evolution of gas. Evolution of gas. This is observation, but still I want to write that this gas formed is hydrogen gas. Now how you will come to know when you will do this reaction, how you will come to know that this gas is hydrogen gas? So there is a test for every gas, because otherwise just doing the reaction you will observe only bubbles are forming. Like if I draw a diagram, try to draw the diagram, you can also see its video. What I have done, I took hydrochloric acid in aqueous form, you can say, or then I put a zinc granules in it. Zinc granules. Okay, then you will see that few bubbles will stick to the surface of the zinc and few bubbles will come out of the hydrochloric acid. Bubbles of gas, and these bubbles are of gas which is colorless. So just observing the bubbles you will not come to know that this gas is hydrogen gas. So what I have to do, I have to take this gas in such a way that I can test this gas. Like there could be a SO test. So what I have to do, I have to trap these bubbles with the help of any tube. Then that tube is passed through the soap solution. Then you will see that bubbles of the soap solution are formed. Then bring the burning candle near these bubbles and these bubbles will explode, giving pop sound. So that is the test of hydrogen gas. That complete activity will do later, but filhal you can write down this hydrogen gas, test of hydrogen gas. It burns, giving pop sound. Pop sound. So I come to know that the gas formed is hydrogen gas. So two observations, because this is just a start of the chapter, so I cannot tell everything in detail. Okay, at the start just my motive is to make you clear that few observations, like if there is a change in color, evolution of gas, change in state is occurring, then there might be a chemical reaction taking place. This thing just I want to make you clear. So in activity 1.1 which we have done in previous lecture, we have seen that there is a change in state, and in second activity I have seen there is a change in color, and in third there is a change in temperature also, and evolution of gas. So these are the four observations which give you the idea that any chemical reaction is taking place. For every observation there is one activity. Okay, now after that, making you little bit clear what are the chemical reaction, idea about the chemical reaction. Now what is chemical equation? Definition of chemical equation. Okay, now first of all, our chapter is chemical reactions and equations. What is the difference between chemical reaction and chemical equation? Chemical reaction is what which we do in the laboratory, like this zinc. I have taken a zinc, then I put into a hydrochloric acid. So what it will form? It will form zinc chloride, and hydrogen gas bubbles will be moving out of the solution. So this whatever I am doing, that is chemical reaction. The chemical reaction is taking place between the zinc and hydrochloric acid. Then what is chemical equation? So chemical equation is a representation of a chemical reaction by following certain symbols and rules. Rules will do later. So that is chemical equation. Equation, you must have heard this word in the maths also. Equation means equate. So there are many equations you have done: linear equation, quadratic equation, cubic equation. Equation means when equate to something, equal to something. Okay, so this chemical equation is representation of chemical reaction, because chemical reaction is what we are doing in the laboratory, but to represent on the book we should follow certain rules. Like this is chemical equation of the reaction, the way I have represented with the symbols, like zinc is represented with Zn, hydrochloric acid is HCl, then these both react, so I am using plus symbol. Then after reaction, this shows that a reaction is proceeding toward this direction. Then two products are formed, one is zinc hydrochloric acid. These are the symbols of I have used. So this is a chemical equation. So what is chemical equation? Representation of chemical reaction using some symbols and rules is known as chemical equation. Okay, example is same. This is a chemical equation. So then after that, rules for writing chemical equation. There are certain rules which should be followed while writing any chemical equation. Now first of all, reactants are always written on the left side. Let me take one example. Same, burning of magnesium ribbon, Mg plus O2 forms MgO. Okay, so let's balance it. Now reactants are always written on the left side of the arrow. Okay, so reactants are written on left hand side and products are written on right hand side. Second rule, if there are more than two reactants or more than two products, always use plus symbol between the reactants and products. For more than two reactants or products, use plus symbol between them. Third, reactants and products are separated with arrow symbol. Reactants and products are separated with arrow symbol. Okay, fourth, an arrowhead always points toward the product side. Arrowhead, this is arrowhead and this is a arrow tail. Arrowhead points toward the products. Now what it indicates? It indicates the direction in which chemical reaction is taking place. So it means chemical reaction is proceeding in toward the product side. From Mg, magnesium and oxygen, the reaction is proceeding toward the magnesium oxide. So arrowhead points toward the products. It indicates the direction in which chemical reaction is proceeding. Okay. So one or two more rules you can include. Basically these four are sufficient. Two more you can include, that again we'll do later. Like you can also write the state symbols in the bracket along with the reactants or products. Like if magnesium is occurring in the solid state, so I can put S in the bracket. Oxygen is in the gaseous state, I can put G. Okay, so state symbols also you can use along with the reactants, but that is optional. For you people like students, it could not be expected, because that you will come to know in the laboratory itself. If you will do the reaction with your own hands, then only you will come to know that in which state these reactants and products are forming. Okay, and reaction conditions. Reaction condition means in the presence of how much temperature, in the presence of how much pressure the reaction is taking place. So those are known as reaction conditions. And that reaction conditions are written either above the arrow or below the arrow. Okay, again you will come to know this in the next lecture. Okay, about state symbols and reaction conditions. So these are the four rules should be followed. These are easy. If you are writing the chemical reaction, means these rules you already know. Now reactant, what are reactants? You already know na? What are reactant? Reactant are those substances which are taking place, which are involved in any chemical reaction. Before chemical reaction, whatever substances we have, those are known as reactants. And what are products? It is a result of any chemical reaction. Okay, so this is the definition of reactants and products. Now there are two types way of representation of chemical equation. One is in the form of word. Word equation is if we are writing any chemical equation in the form of their words. Like for example, from the example itself you will come to know that if I am writing magnesium, instead of symbols I am writing in the word form. Magnesium react with oxygen. I am taking same example to form magnesium oxide. So this is word equation. And second is symbolic equation. Symbolic equation is written in the form of symbols. Magnesium plus O2 forms MgO. Okay. So this reaction is not balanced, and the reaction which is not balanced is known as skeletal equation. Skeletal equation. The equation which is not balanced is known as skeletal equation, and which is balanced, that is known as balanced chemical equation. Okay, so this is the example of skeletal equation, and balanced chemical equation is okay, making number of atoms both same on both reactant and product side, that is known as balanced chemical equation. So types of chemical reaction are word equation or symbolic equation, and skeletal equation you should know. The equation which is not balanced is known as skeletal equation, and balanced chemical equation is which is balanced. Now what is balancing a chemical equation? Balancing a chemical equation mean, so balancing a chemical equation means making the number of atoms of each element equal on both reactant and product side. Means if magnesium are 2 over here reactant, then product side also it should be 2. If oxygen are 2, then on reactant and product side it should be 2. So making the number of atoms of each element means magnesium should also be balanced, oxygen should also be balanced. So what is a balancing chemical equation? Making number of atoms of each element equal on both reactants and product side is known as balanced chemical equation. Now why the chemical equation should be balanced? Why any equation should be balanced? So why the equation should be balanced? So it should be balanced because to fulfill the law of conservation of mass. Why? Because the mass of the reactant should be equal to the mass of the product. Nothing is going to be added from the outside, and nothing is going outside of the chemical reaction. Okay, so it means total mass of the reactant should be equal to total mass of the products. This would be only possible if we balance the chemical equation. Why chemical equation should be balanced? To fulfill the law of conservation of mass. Mean to say total mass of reactants should be equal to total mass of the product side. Total mass of products. That's why the chemical equation should be balanced. Okay, now how to balance the chemical equation? Next question. How to balance the chemical equation? So one rule we'll use, that method is known as hit and trial method. Hit and trial method, and this we'll do in next class. Okay, so thank you.